I never believed in ghosts, curses, or the supernatural. I considered myself a man of logic, someone who dismissed folklore and urban legends as mere stories designed to scare children. I had always prided myself on my rationality, my ability to explain the unexplainable with science and reason. But after what I experienced in that house, after what I lived through, I can never be the same again. It all started when I inherited my great-uncle's estate in the countryside, a massive, decaying Victorian mansion that stood alone at the edge of an abandoned village. It was a relic of a past long forgotten. I had never met the man. He had died under mysterious circumstances, and the legal documents stated that he had left everything to me, his only known relative. The offer was too good to refuse. A fully paid-off house, free of cost. My logical mind convinced me that ghosts don't exist, and if people feared the house, all the better. I would have complete solitude. But solitude quickly turned into something else entirely. The first time I stepped into the house, a cold wave ran through me. The air was thick, stale, and carried a faint metallic scent. Dust covered every surface, and the walls were adorned with old portraits of strangers who seemed to watch me with their hollow eyes. It was as if the house itself was holding its breath, waiting for my next move. Strangely enough, the house felt occupied, not by people, but by something unseen. I dismissed it as an overactive imagination. After all, I had come to claim my inheritance, not to wallow in the past. I set to work cleaning, unpacking my belongings, and exploring the many rooms of the estate. In one particular room, the study, I found my great-uncle's journal. It was filled with frantic, barely legible handwriting, mentioning voices in the walls, shadows that moved on their own, and something he only referred to as her. The entries became increasingly erratic, paranoid, and ended abruptly. His last words chilled me. She watches me when I sleep. She whispers my name. She won't let me leave. I should have left right then and there, but curiosity kept me rooted, a magnetic pull I could not resist. For the first few nights, everything was fine. I settled into a routine, adjusting to the creaks and groans of the old house. But then, I began hearing noises, footsteps in the hall, knocks on the doors, and soft whispers echoing through the house. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Old houses creak, the wind howls, and rodents scurry. But how could I explain the feeling of cold breath against my neck when I was completely alone? Or the way furniture moved an inch or two when I looked away? Then the dreams began. Every night I saw her, a woman draped in a black veil standing in the corners of my room, whispering in a language I didn't understand. I would wake up gasping, drenched in sweat, feeling as though someone had been watching me. The dreams were vivid, almost too real, and they left me shaken. I tried to convince myself they were just nightmares, products of my overactive imagination, but they felt like warnings. One night, I woke up unable to move. A weight pressed down on my chest, and a shadow loomed over me. I could hear her breathing, feel her cold fingers brush my skin. I wanted to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat. When I finally broke free, she was gone. But the lingering dread remained, a cold hand gripping my heart. Determined to uncover the truth, I decided to investigate. Digging through old records, I discovered that my great-uncle wasn't the first to experience these horrors. Decades ago, the house had belonged to a woman named Eleanor Gray, a healer accused of practicing black magic. The village had turned against her, believing she had cursed their land. In their fear, they had burned her alive, a tragic end to a life filled with potential. Her body was never found. Some claimed she had escaped. Others believed she had perished in the flames. But one thing was certain. After that night, the village fell into ruin, and anyone who tried to live in the house either disappeared or died in inexplicable ways. The more I learned about Eleanor, the more I felt her presence in the house, as if she were reaching out to me from beyond the grave. I had to get out. That very night, I packed my bags, adrenaline coursing through my veins as I prepared to leave. But as I stepped towards the front door, it slammed shut on its own. The windows locked themselves. The whispers grew louder, turning into tormented screams that echoed in the corners of my mind. She was here, and she was angry. Shadows slithered across the walls, forming the shape of a woman. My body turned ice cold as her whisper reached my ears. "You are mine now." Panic surged through me. I don't know how long I ran through that house, trying every door, every window, but they all led back to the same place, the study, where her portrait now hung, her eyes following me with a knowing gaze. The walls pulsed as if they were alive, breathing in time with my frantic heart. I felt trapped in a nightmare with no escape. Then, silence. The house let me go, or at least that's what I thought. I stumbled outside, gasping for fresh air, the cool night wrapping around me like a comforting blanket. I moved away, far from that cursed place, never looking back. But even now, years later, I still hear the whispers at night. I see her reflection in darkened windows, feel her cold breath on my skin. No matter where I go, she follows. The house never needed walls to trap me, because now she lives within me, and no one ever truly escapes her. I've tried to convince myself that I'm free, but the truth is, her presence lingers like a shadow, a constant reminder of the darkness I once encountered. I can't shake the feeling that I am merely a vessel, a host for her restless spirit. Sometimes, when I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, I see her there, a fleeting shadow in my eyes, a hint of that black veil hovering just behind my reflection. I wonder if I'll ever be able to rid myself of her, or if I'm forever bound to the horrors of that house. Every creak of the floorboard sends a shiver down my spine, and the quiet moments at night are filled with her whispers, soft and insistent. I've sought help, tried to explain the unexplainable, but no one can understand. They tell me it's just my mind playing tricks, that I need to move on, to let go. But how can I let go of something that has become a part of me? The truth is, I don't know how to escape. I don't know if I ever will. All I know is that the house still stands, waiting for its next inhabitant, and I am forever marked by its presence. The whispers will never cease, and the shadows will always dance at the edge of my vision. The legacy of Eleanor Gray lives on, entwined with my own, a haunting reminder that some stories are never truly over.